What's up, guys? Just taking a look at price action on Bitcoin and stacks the last day or so. Getting a very big pump message here in the Zest Discord where we can dive right into everything that you may need to learn or know. So get into the Zest Discord. We're often talking about all the things going on from TradFi to DeFi. We're covering it all. So get in here. There's some cool stuff to check out. Let's see. So the Treasury announced it would at least double the maximum size of liquidity support buybacks for longer dated treasuries. This came after the 30-year yield had hit multi-year highs near 5.34%. Yields fell, the dollar weakened, and financial conditions eased. So, a couple of different things to look at in the morning message as well. So get into the Zest Discord and get activated. I'm seeing a few different things for confluence on the Bitcoin chart. First of all, the stochastics had a bullish divergence, which faked out and looked like it wasn't going to play out, started to curve out, and now it is back pointing back towards the upside. I want to see it cross this dotted line a lot of the times. Once Stokes cross this dotted line, up here is where you see some really big juicy volatility. So looking forward to that. But Stokes pointed back to the upside on BTC on the weekly chart. We're also still above the 200-day moving average. Once these smaller moving averages cross bigger moving averages, we can also see more upside. We're just all relying on staying above that 200-day moving average, which doesn't happen very often. If you look, a lot of the times it'll cross down here, and we've already bottomed. So I'm not concerned too much about it dipping too far underneath the 200-day moving average, but I would like to see that 50-day moving average stay above the 200-day. But that is just speculation. I am not your financial analyst. Do your own research, not financial advice. Let's get into the smaller time frames really quickly and show you what I see. So getting on the daily, look at this daily candle, right? Just beautiful candle yesterday, up about 9% or so. And then just leading into that too, I've been talking about these moving averages bunching up like that, like I was seeing here. Let me just get rid of these arrows as well. Eliminate the distractions. Let's just look at these moving averages. Excuse me. So, I've been talking about what happens whenever these moving averages start to get bunched up with the 200-day moving average as the outlier, and what happened every single time that these moving averages got bunched up and the 200 was the outlier. It pumped up. Let's see what this pump went for. This pump went for about like 26% right there. And now again we saw it bump its head and get rejected, but then it came back down. We saw the outlier being the 200, and the moving averages get bunched up again, meaning the 21-day and the 50-day moving average, the smaller time frame moving averages got bunched up, and now we got a pump back to the 200 and then some. So we're now above the 200-day moving average on the daily time frame, which is a big deal, a very big deal. I want to see it continue. I want to see the 50-day moving average continue to move back to the upside and cross this 200-day moving average so we can have a golden cross and maybe potentially go check back up here around 85K for Bitcoin, where the 800-day moving average resides. So we shall see. Moving into smaller time frames, this is what I was looking at yesterday. Wow, these 4-hour candles look great. It's been kind of like a stepping stair down with the 200-day moving average on the 4-hour for a very long time. Maybe we might see the steps going back in the opposite direction. But yesterday we ate, guys, for real. So right now we're about to get a golden cross on the 4-hour time frame for Bitcoin. That's when this blue line here crosses this yellow line, the 200-day moving average, to the upside, and you see all the price action. It's right here. This whole pump, 15%. Wow, right past the 800-day moving average that you see here in purple. That is just a legacy one that not a lot of people use. But if you're in the know, you know this 800-day moving average is pretty solid. Um, indicator to use. So throw it on your chart, start to do some back testing and see how price action interacts with it. Yesterday we were bumping our head on it and just boom, 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 bumping our head, and we got back above that too, baby. So we started a day strong yesterday, and today it is still strong. Getting into the 15 minute, just want to take a look and see, make sure nothing is getting like super overextended. We see the 200 pointing to the upside. We are kind of riding the 200, the 21-day moving average as support, signaling a lot of strength, and we are reset on the stochastics RSI right now. Let's see if we can get any. I'm gonna change the indicators. I'm gonna put on the regular relative strength index, see if we're getting overbought. We are getting a bearish divergence here. There is some bear div, not a whole lot of bear div, but some bear div right here. Nothing to worry about. This is the 15-minute time frame, so other time frames kind of take over more control than the smaller ones. But there is some overbought signals flashing on the 15-minute time frame with a bear div. Let's go to the 4-hour, see what we see. So we do see, I don't see any bear div yet on the 4-hour, but we are in the overbought territory on the 4-hour. Let's go to the the daily. Daily is just getting started, getting into the overbought territory. Still no bear div. We'll see. We'll see. Going into the weekly here, plenty of room to go on the weekly before we even get into these are our runs, right? These are our bull runs. Whenever you start to see from here, right, you saw the Stokes down right here, kind of in the similar position to where we're at right now. But they run into and then retrace, and then another one, and that's your move, right? So hopefully we're going to see the relative strength index continue to go to the upside. It's looking very strong. So this is my breakdown. I did also identify something else that I was interested in. Let me just hide these moving averages and show you. But there was a fair value gap that kind of got closed on, so I'm not surprised if we start to see some retracements from these pumps. But check this out. So when the candle right here beside this candle right here and the other one before, previous and after, do not match in the middle, there's some prices, some orders that may have not gotten filled. So we are seeing this fair value gap getting closed. you know um, Bitcoin, boom, straight through it to the top of the fair value gap. So I wouldn't be surprised if we saw some pullbacks here soon. Just to go test maybe that's the previous high as support. Let me get rid of this and move this up here. Maybe we come back and test over here. Maybe we do a something like this. Let me find my tools. All right, so pass. Maybe we either flag out here and then just slowly come back and like test right here as support, and then we see the real move to the upside for another higher high off of these highs here. Maybe we go in and start fading these highs. Like I said, I'm still speculating and just kind of drawing patterns on a chart. So don't take my advice for it. I've been calling this move for a minute when I've been, just looking at these moving averages. So just wanted to share this little update with you this morning. I hope that you're having a blessed Thursday, and I will catch you guys on the flip side. I will be putting out a video later talking more about this and more innovation and news from the Bitcoin ecosystem. You guys have a blessed rest of your day.